Okay, good morning. Sorry for the slight delay this morning. Our sound system had been working perfectly, and then when we went to start, there was no sound at all. So anyway, hopefully you can all hear me, and things will be better than last week. Again, we're going to do things that most of you all know. There's a few extra people have joined us from around the country. Hello, Muriel and Elaine. Hopefully, Helen and Kirsty. So you obviously won't know the routine. Don't worry, just work as you can. I hope everyone's still well and ready for a little bit of exercise this morning. I think I need yoga more than the rest of this morning. I'm quite stressed with trying to run around getting mics to work. So we're going to start just with a little bit of breathing. As I said last week, rather than starting lying down now, we're going to be starting our class standing because it's much easier for you if you can see and hear me. So just want you to stand nice and upright, shoulders back and down. I just want you to close your eyes and just take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Draw the air all the way down into the abdomen. Really feel your tummy extend as you inhale. And as you exhale, gently release the air through the nose. Nice long exhale. And again, inhaling through the nose. Draw the air down into the abdomen. Feel the abdomen extend. And as you exhale, gently releasing, letting the air come back out through the nose. Breathing nice and deeply. And once more, inhaling. Take the air all the way down into the abdomen. This time, see if you can bring the air up into the chest. Feel the rib cage in the chest expand as you inhale, drawing the air up as high as the collarbones if you can. And as you start to exhale, think of releasing the air from the top of the chest first and from the abdomen last. So controlled, long, controlled, slow breathing. And again, inhale. And exhale. And once more, inhale. And exhale. My technical advisor is just slightly adjusting the camera. I'm just going to turn around and talk with my back to you just to check that the sound is still working when I turn around. So I'm just going to turn around. So just continue to breathe, inhaling nice and deeply through the nose, draw the air down into the abdomen, feel the abdomen extend, continue to draw the air up into the chest. And again, nice and slowly exhaling through the nose, release the air from the chest first, followed by the abdomen. Okay, so hopefully that worked even with my back to you. We'll find out in a minute, but we will carry on anyway. So we're going to do a little bit of a warm up standing up. I want you to take the feet hip width apart, first of all. And last week we were talking about awareness of different parts of your body, which you want to carry all the way through the class. So I want you first of all to look down at your feet and just check the feet are in line. So if one foot's slightly further forward than the other, bring them back into line. That helps get the hips in the right place to begin with. And then I want you to concentrate first of all on your heels. So I really want you to think about feeling the mat down through the heels. So feeling the mat pushing against the heels and then the ball of the foot as well. So you should really be able to feel the whole of the ball of the foot on the mat. Lift the toes up off the mat. And then nice and gently, I want you to place each toe, the big toe first, and then each toe individually, if you can, onto the mat. And try and separate the toes slightly. It's just getting a little bit of a stretch through the toes. And feel the mat under the toes. I don't want you to be clinging onto the mat, so don't hold onto the mat with the toes. Just spread the toes nice and evenly. Nice deep breath. And as you exhale, just feel the mat under your feet. So you should be able to feel the heel, the ball of the foot, and each of the pads of the toes. You should be able to feel them sitting on the mat. I'm going to move on to the legs. So I want you to think about lifting up through the legs, but don't force the knees back into a lock position. So soften the knees slightly, but lift through the legs. Okay, so awareness of the length of the legs, awareness through the feet. I'm going to move on to the core. So you want to think about your glutes, your abdomen, your obliques, lifting up through the pelvic floor. So really engage this area, this core area there, which provides stability for the spine. That's why a lot of us have issues with our backs. So if the core's not strong enough, it's not supporting the spine in the right way. Lift up through the spine, take the shoulders back and down. Okay, so we're just going to loosen off the shoulders now, just to get a little bit of a warm up in the shoulders. I want you to take your hands just onto your shoulders. As you inhale, I want you to take the shoulders back and up, And as you exhale, draw the shoulders and down. So think of as drawing a circle with the elbows. So as you inhale, take the elbows back, draw them up, and as you exhale, bring them forward and down. So it's nice and slow. Inhale, shoulders back and up. Exhale, drawing the elbows forward, which brings the shoulders forward and down. Again, inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, shoulders go back, lifting up. Exhale, forward and down. So on your next inhale, we're going to reverse the direction. So this time, inhale, bring the shoulders forward and up. So you're drawing the elbows forward and up as well. As you exhale, take the shoulders back and down, drawing that circle with the elbows. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back and down. And again, inhale, drawing the shoulders forward, up. Exhale, back and down. And once more, inhale, drawing them forward. Exhale, back and down. And just release the arms back to your side. So then in an inhale, I want you to lift the arms just up halfway, palms facing towards me. And I really want you to stretch out the palms and stretch out your fingers. So really get an awareness of your hands, where they are, how they're feeling this morning. Holding. On your next inhale, take the arms all the way above the head. I just want you to see if you can just touch the fingers together. So thumbs together, first fingers, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky. Okay? Exhale, bring the arms back down halfway and stretch out the hands again. And on your next exhale, bring them back to your side. Okay, so we're just going to repeat that. So inhale, lift the arms halfway. As you exhale, feel through the fingers and the palms. Inhale, take the arms above the head, touch each of the fingers together above the head. Exhale, bring the arms back down halfway. Inhale, feel the stretch through the arms and the hands. Exhale, release back to your sides. And again, inhale, halfway. Exhale, stretch out the hands. Inhale, lift above the head, palms together. Exhale, bringing them halfway down. Inhale, stretch the arms and the palms and the fingers. Exhale, release. And once more, inhale halfway. Awareness of the hands. Inhale all the way up, fingers together. Exhale, bring the arms back down. Inhale, stretch out the hands. And exhale, release. Okay. So we're just going to move on to, sorry, there's just something flashing up. Oh, it's okay. Okay, so we're just going to move on to a little bit more of a warm up. So again, keep the feet hip width apart, lift through the legs, but remember soft knees. And we're going to move on to our little routine that we've been doing where we're stretching up to the beach ball, folding forward, and we're doing that halfway position as well. So most of you should know this. For those of you who don't worry. Just do what you can. And remember, if at any point you have to stop and just work out where you're going next, that's fine. And just join in again when you feel you can. So from your standing position, inhale. This time we're going to take the arms all the way up. Keep the arms nice and wide. I want you to imagine you're balancing a beach ball, a really big, light beach ball on the tips of your fingers. I want you to think about looking up. So don't just drop the head back, lengthen the spine. So you're almost arching back so you can keep the length through the spine, but you're looking up towards the beach ball. So exhale, you're going to bend the knees, bring the chest to the thighs, hands come to the floor. Inhale, we're going to lift all the way up, bringing the arms up, holding onto that beach ball. Don't lift the shoulders up towards the ears, keep the shoulders back and down. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting all the way up, holding the beach ball. If you can, look up, arch back. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting all the way up, arms above the head, looking up. Exhale into the forward bend. And again, inhale, lifting all the way up, bringing the arms above the head, looking up. Exhale, we're going to come back down into the forward bend. But on the next inhale, we're just coming halfway up. So remember, you're straightening the legs, run the hands up the legs. So the body's parallel to the floor. And you really want to think about extending from the crown of the head and the tail of the body. So you're drawing the crown away from the tail, nice long back. Try not to just let the shoulders roll forward. Keep the shoulders up, back and down, so the halfway point. Exhale, folding back down. Inhale, coming up halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting, lengthen the spine. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, folding forward. This time in the inhale, we're coming all the way up to the beach ball again, lifting up, looking up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way up to the beach ball, arms above the head. Exhale, folding forward. And once more up to the beach ball, inhaling all the way up. Hold the beach ball. Exhale, folding forward. This time again, we're coming halfway up. Really lengthen that spine when you get into the halfway position and keep shoulders back and down. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting up. Keep the shoulders up, pushing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, folding down. Inhale once more. Halfway. Exhale, folding down. And this time as you inhale, we're going to come all the way up, coming back up to standing. Okay, so you're starting to warm up a little bit. We're going to move on to our sun salute. So coming to the front of your mat, starting position is Tadasana. So remember for that, if you can, big toes are together, heels are slightly apart. If that's not comfortable, have the feet hip width apart. Lift through the legs, keep the knees soft. Nice long back, shoulders and back and down, you're gazing directly ahead. So we're going to do the modified positions for the first round, so keep it nice and gentle. And remember, as we move into the next round, you can stay with these positions if you prefer. So from Tadasana, inhale, take the arms out and up. As you exhale, bend the knees, bring the chest to the thighs, relax the head and neck, the hands are beside the feet. We're going to step the right foot back, lower the knee and flatten the foot. So you're in a lunge position. Take the left leg back so that you're onto all fours. And nice and slowly draw the body forward, lowering to the floor. Put the forearms on the mat. Body coming into Sphinx pose. So remember, lower body's nice and relaxed. Shoulders back and down, scoop the chest forward. From there, take the hips to the heels, forehead to the mat, extended child's pose. And coming back up onto all fours, step the right foot forward so you're back in your lunge. Remember, you can help the leg through with the hand if you need to. Step the left foot forward so you're back in your forward bend. Deep bend in the knees, push up through the legs, bring the arms above the head. And exhale, release. Okay, so exactly the same. We're going to lead with the left leg. So from Tadasana, inhale, arms up. Exhale into that nice gentle forward bend, hands are beside the feet. This time step the left foot back as far as you can, lower the knee, flatten out the foot. Take the right leg back so you're on all fours. Nice and slowly, draw the body forward, lowering to the mat. Forearms on the floor, inhale, lifting into Sphinx. From there, hips to heels, forehead to the mat, extended child's pose. And coming back up onto all fours, step that left foot forward. Remember, help it through with the hand if you need to. So you're back in your lunge. Follow with the right leg, you're in your forward bend. Deep bend in the knees, push up through the legs. The arms come above the head. And release. Okay, so we're going to move on to the full positions for sun salutes if you can, but remember, if you prefer, you can stick with any of those positions if it suits you this morning. So again, from Tadasana, inhale, take the arms out and up. This time, look up and arch back. On the exhale, we're going to fold forward from the hips, straight back, straight legs, and then swan dive into the forward bend. Relax the upper body towards the mat, hands beside the feet. Take the right foot back, lower the knee, flatten the foot. So you're back in your lunge, but this time push forward with the hips and look ahead. A nice stretch. Tuck those toes under. We're going to take a plank position. So remember, it's a nice straight line with the upper body. And then take the knees, chin and chest towards the mat. Draw the body forward. Coming into Cobra this time if you can. If you prefer, keep the forearms on the mat and stay with Sphinx. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down facing dog. So remember, you're creating an inverted V shape with the body. And from there, step the right foot forward. So you're back into your lunge. This time, if you can, lift the arms and look up. Put the palms together, lower the hands in front of the chest. Draw the body forward from the hips and take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Release the hands back to the floor. Step the left foot forward, so you're back in your forward bend. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing, looking up. Exhale, release. Okay, exactly the same, but we're going to lead with the left leg. So from Tadasana, inhale, looking up. Exhale into the forward bend. This time the left foot back into the lunge. Push through with the hips. Tuck the toes. Take a plank position. And then knees, chin and chest towards the mat. Draw the body forward, coming either into Cobra or Sphinx. From there, tuck the toes, lift the hips, down facing dog. Left foot forward, back into the lunge. This time lift the arms and look up. Palms together, lowering. Draw the body forward, take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Release the hands, step the right foot forward. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing, looking up. And exhale, release. Okay, we're going to do one more round of sun salutes. If you can, remember at any point you feel you need to stop, then please do. So from the front of the mat, inhale, looking up. Exhale into the forward bend. Right leg back into the lunge, push through with the hips. Tuck the toes, take a plank. Knees, chin and chest towards the mat. Draw the body forward, coming either into Cobra or Sphinx. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Down facing dog. Right foot forward, back into the lunge. Lift the arms, look up. Palms together, lowering. Draw the body forward, left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Release the hands, step the left foot forward. So you're back in your forward bend. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing, looking up. And exhale, release. And leading with the left. Inhale, look up. Exhale into the forward bend. Stepping the left foot back this time into the lunge. Push through with the hips. Tuck the toes, take a plank. And knees, chin and chest, draw the body forward, coming either into Cobra or Sphinx. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, create that inverted V shape with the body. Now this time step the left foot forward, so you're back into your lunge. Lift the arms, look up. Palms together, lowering. Draw the body forward. Right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Release the hands, step the right foot forward. Inhale, coming all the way up to standing, looking up. And exhale, release. Great, so you should be warming up nicely now. If you need a little drink, just have a drink of water before we move on. We're going to do a little bit of balance work next. So remember, for anybody that struggles with their balance, you can go out and stand beside a wall, get a chair. Just have your fingertips gently on the wall or on the chair, just gives you a little bit of stability. Okay, so we worked with tree last week and we'll just do it again this week because you all know tree really well. So just to get used to this live session, if it's going to work, we'll just stay with tree this morning. So think about letting your weight come down nice and firmly into the standing leg. So again, awareness, you should be able to be aware of your foot on the floor, the heel, the ball of the foot, and the toes spread out. Don't let the hip come out, so keep the hip nice and upright. Nice soft knee. We're just going to come up onto the toes of the other foot and just put your heel just nice and gently against the leg. Bring the palms together, press the palms nice and firmly together. This will give you an extra bit of stability as well. So for those of you who struggle with your balance, just think about staying in this position. You can just lift the toes off the mat, put them back down whenever you're feeling uncomfortable. For those who are happy to take the foot all the way off the floor, I just want you to slide the foot up onto the calf and really think about turning that knee out. So you're pushing the knee out to the side rather than coming forward towards me. Keep the hands in this position. So we're just going to get a wee feel for how we're feeling with our balance this morning. Some weeks balance is better than others, but don't worry about that. We just become aware of it. So remember, you want to pick a focal point, keep your gaze centered on something that's not going to move, and just hold and breathe. Take the foot to the floor anytime you need to. And nice and slowly just slide the foot back down onto the mat. So we're going to go to the opposite side. So again, I want you to feel the mat nice and firmly under that standing foot. Keep the knee nice and soft. Coming up onto the toes with the other foot, just bring the heel just gently against the leg. Pick your focal point. Remember to engage these core muscles, keep it nice and tight so you're getting that stability. And if and when you're ready, you can just slide the foot up onto the calf. And at that point, you can really work on turning that knee out so it's going out to the side rather than coming forward. Again, we're going to hold and breathe. And slide the foot back down onto the mat. So we're going to go back to the first side. And for those of you calm, we're going to take it a little bit deeper, but remember there's lots of options for everyone. So again, weight coming down nice and firmly into the standing foot, awareness of the foot on the mat, soften the knee. Engage the core muscles. And again, we're going to come back up onto the toe of the foot and bring the heel against the standing leg. So again, if this is a position you want to stay in and just lift and lower the foot, that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, you can slide the foot up onto the calf. So again, you might be happy to stay in this position and not go any deeper. For those of you who are comfortable, think about taking the arms above the head. So the hands come above the head, so you're just lifting through the spine, still keeping that gaze centered, holding and breathing. And the palms back down in front of the chest, and the foot back to the floor, move to the next side. So feel the foot on the floor first of all, soften the knee, come up onto the toe of the other foot and bring the heel against the standing leg when you're ready. If you're lifting the foot off the floor completely, bring it up onto the calf, work on turning that knee out. Again, you can stay in this position if this is as far as you feel you want to go this morning. Otherwise, arms above the head. Again, holding and breathing. And bring the palms back down in front of the chest. Slide the foot back to the floor. Okay, we're going to do one more round with our balance. And this time it'll be really very much up to you which position you want to take. So remember, for the foot, it can be with the toes just touching the floor and you can lift and lower. You can slide the foot up onto the calf as we've been doing. Or if you can bring the foot all the way up onto the thigh. Press the foot and the thigh together. Hands into prayer, or hands can be above the head. So if you want to pick which one you want to do for the first side, remember, for those of you who are working on getting this foot up onto the thigh but haven't quite got that you can hold it there without holding on with your hand, then just stay in this position. You can come into a half. You can bring one hand above the head and hold the leg with the other hand. So just picking which position you want to be in this morning. If you're in the full position here, you might not be able to hold as long. That's fine. You just come out when you need to and then just wait for a few moments till we all get back into position together. And if you've got your hands above the head, bring them back down and then lower the foot back to the mat. Okay, so moving to the opposite side. So again, you might find you can do that balance, one of the positions we've just been doing on one side and you can't go as deep in the other. I struggle with my foot all the way up onto the thigh on this side, but I'm going to work with it and see how I get on. So just picking foot position first of all, either with the toes just on the floor, foot on the calf, or bring the foot up all the way onto the thigh. And remember, if you can't quite let go yet, you've really got to be pushing the standing leg in and pushing the foot against it. I think it depends how much your hip can open as well, whether you can hold in that position. But we're just going to work with it. It also depends what kind of trousers you've got on. If they're really slippy, you'll find it much more difficult. Some of mine are much better than others. So just see how you get on, holding and breathing. Coming out if you need to. Just working with your balance as much as you can this morning. And bringing the palms back in front of the chest, lowering the foot to the floor. So once you bring the arms above the head. And on an exhale, we're going to fold forward from the hips, coming into a forward bend, just releasing any tension through the spine, just relax the upper body down towards the mat. We're just going to hold and breathe for a few breaths. And inhale, coming back up to standing. Okay, so we're going to move on to working with one of our standing postures, Virabhadrasana 2, our warrior pose 2, because certainly those of you who are coming to class know this one really well. So if the sound isn't still great, I'm not sure how it's going, I'll find out after the class. But if it's not great, at least you've got an idea of what you're doing. For those of you who are not so sure, just try and follow as well as you can. So it's taking the feet apart, 2 to 3 feet apart. We can adjust this as we go along, so don't worry if you're not sure how wide apart to take your foot. Turn the right toes to face to the right. And remember, you've got to think, first of all, about your foot position. So if you were to draw a line from the heel of the front foot, it would come to the instep of the back foot. So that's the first thing you want to think about. You want to think about your foot position. You also want to keep your shoulders and your hips turned towards me. So don't turn them to face in the direction of your foot. Keep them facing towards me. Keep the hands on the hips to begin with. We're just going to warm up, stretch out the muscles first of all. So as you exhale, I just want you to bend that right leg so that the knee comes above the ankle. So if you find it's going past the ankle like this, just widen your stance a little bit, okay? So you want to stop the knee when it comes to the ankle. The other thing you want to think about is the direction of the knee. So as you bend the knee, you want it to be going towards that second toe. So you want to be going straight out to your side. You don't want it coming across towards me at an angle. You want to make sure it's pushing out. And then when we're holding the position, you want to make sure you're holding in that position. So just come in and out a few times, get a feel for the direction of the knee, get a feel for how far you want to go into the posture. Remember, once you've come in and out a few times, if you find you want to go a little bit further, just widen the feet slightly and you can sink slightly deeper into the position. The other thing you want to think about is that don't forget about the back foot. You want to make sure you can still feel the outer edge of that foot on the mat. So don't roll onto your instep. Okay. So remember the feet back to the front. And then turning the other foot in the opposite direction. I can't remember. I think we're on our left. Make sure the foot position's right up. First of all, the line from the heel to the instep. Shoulders are towards me. Bend and straighten a few times. Make sure the knee's going in the right direction. Widen the stance if you need to. So the knee's coming above the ankle, nice and gently. So you should start to feel the stretch through the inner thighs. You should come in and out, just warming up those muscles. Ready for us when we start to hold in the position. Okay, so toes back towards me. We're going to go back to the first side. So turn your foot. First of all, watch the position of the foot. Hands on the hips to begin with, and then we're going to bend the knee. Now make sure the knee stops when it gets to the ankle. If you need to go further, you'll have to widen your stance. If your knee's not getting to your ankle, bring your foot slightly closer, feet slightly closer together. Okay, and make sure that knee's pointing in the right direction. Make sure you're not rolling onto the instep of your back foot. When you're happy with all that, we're going to work with the upper body as well. So we're going to stretch out the arms. So really want to think about opening up the chest. Push those shoulders back and down. Widen the arms and gaze along the middle finger of, I think it's your right, I think you've gone right, so your right hand. Keep the shoulders back and down. Keep the gaze centered. Don't let that knee draw in. Okay, so we'll hold and breathe. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior pose 2, a nice strong position. Inhale, bring the hands above the head, the toes towards me, and as we exhale, we're going to move to the opposite side. So turn the foot to the side, bend that knee, make sure you're happy with the position, then open up the arms, really open the chest, open the heart up, push those shoulders back and down, stretch the arms away. Once you're in position, just have a little look behind. You want the arms to be nice and even, so you don't want this back arm to drop away when you're not looking. So just have a little look, make sure it's in the right position, and then try really hard to keep in that position while we hold and breathe. Inhale, bring the arms back above the head, toes towards me. We're going to fold forward from the hips as we exhale into a wide-legged forward bend. And we're just going to hold and breathe for a few breaths. So coming into the forward bend, relaxing down, breathing nice and deeply. Bring a little bend into the knees as you inhale, push up through the legs, coming back up. We're going to go back to the first side. So turn the foot out to the side. When you're ready, bend that knee. Make sure your foot position, your knee position is correct first of all. Pushing down nice and firmly into the mat. And then widen the arms, broaden the chest, shoulders back and down, gazing along the middle finger. Again, we're going to hold and breathe. Inhale, arms above the head, toes towards me. Moving to the opposite side, turn the foot. First of all, think about the position of the foot. Bend the knee when you're ready. Widen the arms. Gaze along that middle finger. Really keep those shoulders back and down. Keep the arms engaged and working. Inhale, bring the arms back above the head. Toes towards me. As you exhale, fold forward from the hips. Wide-legged forward bend. Relax the upper body down towards the floor. Bend the knees, push up through the legs, coming all the way up to standing. Bring the legs back together. Give your arms and legs a little bit of a shake if you feel as if you've been working hard. Nice deep breath in. Grab a drink of water if you need to. Okay, so what we've been doing at our class this session, and also we tried it live last week. It didn't work particularly well because when I was in down facing dog, you couldn't hear me, but hopefully it'll be better this week. So remember, there's two different options for this next little bit of posture work where we're linking positions together. We're all going to do the first version to begin with. And for some of you, that will be the one you want to stay with. You might not want to do the slightly more advanced version. So remember, there's always something for everybody. You don't have to do the full positions all the time. So what we've been doing is we've been working with, well, the first version is cat and cow postures and then lifting the leg, etc. And the same with down facing dog, moving into three-legged dog and then into flying cat. So if you want to come down onto all fours to begin with, we're all going to work with cat and cow posture first of all, and then we will move into the three-legged cow and the half flying cat, just so you know what we're doing. And from there, you can pick which version you want to do. So we're just going to do a little warm up with cat and cow postures first of all. Really good for getting flexibility and movement through the spine. So remember, for cow posture, as you inhale, you're bringing the head and the tailbone up and you're pushing the tummy down towards the floor, so arching the spine down the way. As you exhale, tuck the head and the tailbone under and arch the spine towards the ceiling. And then just for a few breaths, we're going to work with the breath. So inhale, moving into cow pose. And as you exhale, folding under into cat. And then just stay with the breath for the next few breaths, moving with the breath nice and fluidly. Okay, so this time, if you can, as you come up into cow pose, I want you to lift your right leg up, really stretching it out as far as you can. Okay, and as you exhale, we're going to move into cat, but we're going to bring that right knee forward as close to the elbow as you possibly can, so you're really still arching the back and the knees coming forward. As you inhale, again, we're going to push the leg all the way back, and as you exhale, bring the knee back to the floor. Moving to the opposite side, so inhale, moving into cow pose, but with the lifted leg, if you can, really stretch the leg out. As you exhale, tuck the head and the tailbone under, but if you can, bring that left knee as far forward towards the elbow as you can. Inhale, take the leg, all the way back, stretch it out, and as you exhale, release the foot back to the mat. Okay, so that's the first version of this next little bit of posture work we're doing. Working with cat and cow, and you can just do cat and cow if you prefer. If you don't want to do the lifted leg, that's absolutely fine, but you can do the three-legged cow and the half-flying cat, as we like to call them. For those of you who want to do full down-facing dog moving into half-flying cat, we're going to go through it now. We'll just work with down-facing dog on its own just for a few breaths, just to get the feel of it, and for anybody who's not sure, just to make sure you know what position you're in. So starting on all fours. For this, you want to tuck the toes under, lift the knees off the mat, and take the hips away up towards the ceiling. So basically, take your shoulders away from the wrists, push the hips as if you're pushing them up towards the ceiling. At the same time, you're pressing your heels down towards the mats. And some of you will be able to get the heels onto the mat and probably have nice straight legs. I'm afraid my calf and hamstrings won't allow that. So my heels don't quite get to the floor, and I've got a slight bend in my knees as well. We won't worry too much about that. The main thing is that the shoulders are away from the wrists and you're getting that nice feeling through the spine. So the shoulders and the spine are almost draping down towards the mat. And we're going to hold and breathe for a few breaths. Remember, you just bring the knees to the floor anytime you need to. And nice and slowly bring the knees back to the floor. Just going to sit back on our heels if you can for a moment, just have a little breath. Okay, so on our next round, we're going to, for those of you who can, we're going to do half down face, three-legged dog and flying cat, or you stay with cat and cow posture, and if you can, you do the lifted leg in those positions. Okay, so either coming into cow pose if you're going to use the cat and cow postures, or tuck the toes, lift the hips, and come into down facing dog. Okay, so we're going to work with the breath. So on the inhale, I want you to think about lifting that right leg if you can. Really stretch it up and back. As you exhale, you're going to bring the shoulders forward above the wrists and bring the right elbow towards the right knee towards the right elbow, and really arch the spine up and tuck the head under. Inhale, pushing all the way back. Bring the leg up, back into a three-legged dog. Exhale, the right foot comes to the floor. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, come arch up, tuck the head under, knee to elbow. Inhale, pushing back. Exhale, foot to the floor. So we're going to go back to the right side. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, into flying cat. Inhale, push all the way back. Exhale, release the foot to the mat. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, moving into flying cat. Make sure the shoulders come above the wrists. Exhale, pushing all the way back. Inhale, foot to the floor. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, flying cat. Inhale, push all the way back. Exhale, foot to the mat. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, moving all the way forward into flying cat. Inhale, moving back. Lift the leg. Exhale, foot to the mat. Hold in down facing dog or cow pose, whichever one you're in. And nice and slowly bring the knees back to the mat. If you can, sit back in your heels. Remember, if you can't sit all the way back in your heels, just come into this position for a few breaths. Just a little bit of a rest. If you need to, grab a little bit of water. Okay, so if you can, we're going to do one more round of those. So remember, there is options. Even if you did the down facing dog and the flying cat full positions there, you can decide for the second round to use the cat and cow postures if they are more appropriate for you this morning. So remember, yoga is about thinking about your body, responding to what it needs. That doesn't mean you don't want it to work, but just be aware of any weaknesses, any injuries that you might have, and just so coming on to all fours. So again, either work with cat and cow postures, or tuck the toes, lift the hips, and come into down facing dog. Hold and breathe. And then on the next inhale, if you can, lift that right leg up. Exhale, moving to flying cat. Inhale, pushing all the way back. Exhale, foot to the mat. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, flying cat. Inhale, pushing all the way back. Exhale, foot to the floor. And again, right leg up as you inhale. Exhale, flying cat. Inhale, pushing all the way back. Exhale, bring the foot to the mat. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, flying cat. Inhale, pushing all the way back. Exhale, foot to the mat. Once more if you can, right leg up. Exhale, flying cat. Inhale, pushing all the way back. Exhale, foot to the floor. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, flying cat. Inhale, push all the way back. Exhale, foot to the floor. Nice and slowly take the knees to the floor. And if you can, sit back in your heels. Remember, just stay in this position if you can't. So we're just going to just rotate the hands at the wrists. If you've been doing down facing dog and flying cat, it's quite hard work on the wrists. Sometimes some of you will find it on the shoulders as well. So just releasing any tension through the wrists. Put the fingers, interlock the fingers, lift the hands above the head, and just have a nice stretch up towards the ceiling. Close the eyes, nice deep breath in, and exhale, and release the hands. Okay, so we're not going to do too much more this morning. I'm just going to go and find a block to sit on, which I forgot to bring out with me. We're just going to do a little bit of a stretch. We'll do a little bit of pranayama breath work before we finish as well. And then that will be the end of our second test run at yoga. So you want to come down to sitting. If you can, sit cross-legged. Remember, if that doesn't suit, you can have the legs straight out in front. Okay, either way, nice long spine. As you inhale, I want you to bring the arms above the head. And as you exhale, we're going to fold forward from the hips. So never fold from the waist, always fold from the hips. And we're going to walk the hands forward, draw the body forward as far as you can. Don't worry if you can't go very far, it depends how much your hips open. And then just lower your upper body towards the mat. Just breathing. And nice and slowly walk the hands back. We're going to take the hands round behind the hips. And as you inhale, so I want you to lift the chest up towards the ceiling. So really push the shoulders back and down and look up. But keep the neck nice and long. So you're just getting a lovely stretch across the chest, through the shoulders, opening up the front of the body. And release. Okay, so if you have managed to sit cross-legged, I want you to swap the legs over so that the opposite leg is leading in the cross-leg position. And again, inhale, take the arms above the head. Exhale, fold forward from the hips, walk the hands out, just come as low as you comfortably can, and then hold and breathe. And nice and slowly walking the hands back. Take the hands around behind the hips. And again, we're going to open up the front of the body towards the ceiling. If you can, this time you can lift the hips and come up onto the knees. You're stretching out the hips, the whole of the front of the body, pushing the shoulders back and down. You've got a nice long neck. Again, just hold and breathe. And lowering the hips back to the floor. Okay, nice bit of down facing and up facing dog here beside me. Okay, so we're just going to do a little bit of breath work, a little bit of pranayama just to finish off the class. So again, if you get yourself into a seated position, if you can, cross-legged, remember if that doesn't suit, have the legs straight out in front. Either way, try to have a nice long spine and have the shoulders back and down. Bringing the hands into the mudra position. Thumb and first finger pressing nice and firmly together. Open the other fingers up and then just bring them to sit either on the legs, the knees, whatever's comfortable for you, and gently close your eyes. So we're just going to work with single nostril breathing for a few rounds this morning, just to finish off the class. So with the eyes closed, I just want you to imagine you're drawing the air in through your right nostril. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. And release the air through your left nostril. 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the left. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. And release through the right nostril. 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the right. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. And release through the left. 2, 3, 4. Inhale through the left. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. 2, 3, 4. And release through the right. 2, 3, 4. And just releasing the breath. Gently open the eyes. Bring the palms together. Namaste. Thank you for joining the second trial version of Karen's isolation yoga. I hope you enjoyed it this morning. I hope it was better than last week because I know the sound was pretty appalling. And hopefully the mic has worked. But again, Well, two reasons actually. Um, I can't tell who has joined and who hasn't. It's just quite nice for me to know who's actually been there and make sure that there are some people following the class. So if you could email me, just to let me know, email me or text me, message me somehow to let me know if you've taken part and to let me know how it went this morning. Everybody seemed to enjoy it last week, other than the sound. So hopefully, if the sound's better this week, it will be worth continuing. But I'll gauge that from the responses I get. If there's still an issue, maybe the IT man might be able to do something further. I'm not sure. We are just working with a basic laptop. I now have my little mic as well. So hopefully, you've heard everything this morning. Anyway, hope you're all well and look after yourselves. And I will be in touch again before next Wednesday. Thank you very much. Goodbye.